Today I'm here at Photokina in Cologne. It's actually a fair and convention for image products, which means for cameras. And of course, since the DSLR revolution started, there are also a lot of movie cameras and a lot of movie stuff. So I'm gonna try and take a look at most new products that I think are interesting.
We have the same E-mount as the FS700, but we put in the chip of the F5. So we have the 2000 ISO, we have the internal HD 180 frames per second. 4K, we can actually do 60 frames per second, unless we put in the back piece, and then we can have RAW out up to 240 frames per second. So it's a very versatile camera we have here. Apart from that, there is an extra feedback. We have the back piece that is a V-Lock mount. The V-Lock has a built-in ProRes recorder, so you can record internally ProRes in the camera. The handle is an aerial set, so we can loosen it and then move it about. And it ended up being a very comfortable handle with you can see all the assigned buttons. You can see we have a recording button, we have the zoom button. Well, the camera, it says, is less than 2 kilos. So I'll be very comfortable working many hours if that is my job.
If you listen,
That's
and
impressive.
that could go on longer and longer and longer. It makes 10 frames per second in photo mode, and with a brand new dual-digit 6 processor, very fast autofocus, and a very sensitive autofocus. There are some special requests in video mode. In photo mode, it's necessary to have a very fast autofocus. Not all video filmers need a very fast autofocus. If we've done an interview and there are always people crossing, I'd like to be in focus, or you have to be in focus, and not the people that are crossing. And that could be set in the camera.
You can now change the audio levels while recording. Finally, you can shoot 60 FPS in full HD, although you can't use the high all-eye bitrate, only IPB. And you can now also change the volumes if you plug in a headphone. As you know, with the 7D Mark I, you couldn't even plug in earphones.
As a camera, which is most important for us, it features a 1-inch sensor. That's the highlight. So that's the same sensor size as we have in an FZ1000 or in Sony's RX100. In terms of lens, we have a Leica lens with an f-stop of 2.8, so also a very nice bright lens. Video quality is also nice. It shoots 4K video in 15 frames per second. So as a camera, it's on the high end of what is out there in the market. The most obvious thing about A500, as opposed to many other action cams out there, is its two-piece concept. This allows you to have a very small lens unit and the sensor unit, and separate that from the battery unit and the control unit. So as you can see here, it's very easy to clip your camera to your head or attach it to any other device possible. On the main unit, you have a control monitor, so a screen where you can actually see the picture that the camera is recording. And feature-wise, dust and splash proof, of course. And last but not least, this thing also shoots in 4K.
Kowa has now presented a new lens which should be pretty useful for cameras like the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera or the Panasonic GH4, because it's MFT and it's an ultra-wide angle lens, 8.5mm with an aperture of f2.8.
We have an aperture ring which can offer step by step, or if you press this button, It has a continuous aperture changement. So stepless. So it means I can have a very good option for video as well as for still photo. This is a unique feature of which we are very proud of. Many companies have big interest in the 8.5 millimeter, and especially such kind of companies who are working with drones, because this should be one of the best focal lengths to have this kind of movie production.
When we started to develop this lens family, we thought about a lens without compromises in image quality. That means we do not accept any aberrations over the entire image field. In the corners, you don't see any chromatic aberrations, vignetting, or any problems in the image. When we developed the lens, of course, we thought about still photography. But in the meantime, the market has developed quite fast, and we see a big overlap between stills and video shooting. We will not tell the customer to use this lens only for stills or only for video. It has certain advantages to use it for video, like manual aperture control, a very long and precise focus rotation, and I'm sure there will be some filmmakers who will use these lenses also for video.
These are real condenser capsules, kind of like the NT4, NT5 studio condenser microphones. This kind of quality we're talking. This is yet another league. This is aluminium, so it's an all metal body. You will never have any problems with radio interference, obviously. So I would call this a truly professional microphone. So whenever you go outdoors, simply because of dust or humidity, it's this that you should use. It's a combined silicon structure, kind of like a little bit like this blimp, and the special foam. And all you have to do, it's really simple, it's plop, and it's there, and it stays there. I would have no doubts to use it as an overhead for drums, or in simple situations for a classical piano, like a Bösendorf. And I'm sure that's exactly where you would hear the difference if you were to record a piano concerto with this and the SVMP, then you would really can tell. And that's why I said professional this is meant to last for years and years and decades, even under heavy use.
It looks a little bit like an audio recorder, but what can it do as well?
That's correct. It's basically it's a two-track audio recorder with a 3-channel input, so that you can use up to three microphones. Individual level you can adjust here. So as a pan port, that you situate this microphone number 1 to be center or left or to the right. Then what is unique on this model is the camera is already set up as a filming video. When you press the record button here, it goes to record as well. It's synchronized. Depending on the camera, this exhibition now it's using the infrared. Then Canon camera will pick up as a remote function.
What's really noticeable here at Photokina is that photo and video are getting closer and closer. There are a lot of companies who focus more on video, but are also showing off their stuff, for example DJI with their Phantom, with their famous drone, or also with the new DJI Ronin, which I tried, which is really interesting. It's a 3-axis stabilized handheld gimbal system, something like the Movi, and it's really great if you want to do slow movements, you want to do fast movements, and they all should be stabilized. Of course, that sort of stuff comes with its price, but once you tried it, you actually want to keep it. Photokina was great. I spent a whole day here. I met a lot of great people and saw a lot of new products, even though, for example, Nikon wasn't able to provide us somebody to talk about their new D750. And the same was with Samsung. They weren't able to give us somebody to talk about the NX1, but we still took a look, and also new products which we thought wouldn't even be displayed here. So that was pretty interesting, and I'll see you next time. Bye.